Okay, so it's officially a little bit less than a month before we move, and I thought I'd share with you guys my little checklist, my preparing to move plan, my 1 month out preparing to move plan, whatever I'm gonna call this. I don't know, we'll see. Obviously it's a little bit too early to start packing, but also it's not too early to start preparing. If you guys have been following me for any amount of time, I'm a organizing type of person. I try to be as organized and as prepared as possible. So it's been about 2 years since we sold our other house, paid off all our debt, and have just been kind of saving and waiting the market out, which I mean seems like it's never going to go down. So we kind of just decided to take the plunge and start looking at houses. We found something we loved, we put in an offer, they accepted. We're going through the process right now. Everything is looking good, and we're projected to close in about a month. So the first thing that I decided to do was make like a priorities list, like a wants and needs list of anything that we're going to need to pay for, to buy. So obviously there are going to be other things that we're going to have to do a little bit closer to when we're going to move in, along with packing. But I started to go through the pictures of the house, and I started to just pay attention to things that we would need or that we have here, and we're organizing it in a certain way, and that we'll need to adjust when we move over there. So one obvious thing for us is to have some sort of organization in the garage for shoes. There's 5 of us, and the closets are always just a mess with shoes, and we're the type of family that doesn't wear shoes inside. That was one thing on my list, some sort of shoe organization for the garage. Another thing is that we're not going to have an extra closet like we have here, because the house that we're moving into has a true office, which means that it doesn't have a closet in there. It's like a true office. So here in the rental, we also have a room, this room, that we use like as our office. But the difference is that this one isn't a true office. It has an actual closet. So we use this closet to store all of our coats and like big heavy jackets and stuff. And I also store like costumes and certain other things that just take up space in our closets. So my idea was that we should buy some sort of cabinet situation to put in the garage to store all of our coats and stuff. So that's another thing that we're gonna need pretty much when we move in. Also the closet that we're gonna have, our primary closet, is a little bit smaller. It has more like built-ins. It has areas for shoes and stuff, so it's a little bit smaller as far as the amount of actual hanging space that it has. 2 of the kids are going to be sharing a closet. One of the kids is going to have her own closet, but we're also going to be using it for hand-me-downs and like in-between sizes and stuff, because we have 3 girls. So we have a lot of clothes that I hang on to because it's just good clothes, and we can always use it for the next one. Our dresser that we have in here, one kid has 1 drawer. All of her clothes fits in 1 drawer, and the other kid, same thing, all 1 drawer. The other 3 drawers are broken, so we're not going to be taking this dresser, and that's why we're going to need some sort of closet organization for the kids. I'd rather get them some sort of closet organization right now because they are going to be sharing a room, and I just don't want a huge dresser. Like I said, they use 1 drawer each. Typical dressers are just too big. My other daughter also has a smaller dresser that is actually a good size, but it's an older dresser, and we're not going to be taking that either, just because we feel like it's not going to really survive the move. Another thing that we're going to need is a bookshelf for the office. So I'm going to basically be taking the schoolroom and kind of spreading it out a little bit throughout the house. We're gonna share the office, Ramses and I, so I'm gonna obviously have a lot of homeschool stuff in there. And then our dining room, we're going to have a dining room in the house. So the dining room is going to have some storage there that we're going to use for homeschool stuff too. And then we're going to use one of the rooms as a playroom. Right now, the kids are at an age where they like to sleep together in the same room. So we're going to just keep it that way and use the other room as a playroom, just because they are still at an age where they also like to play with dolls and have a lot of toys toys, and you know, we need somewhere to put all of that. So that's why I just told them. And honestly, one of the kids, my middle kid, wants her own room, but I kind of just told her like, hey, look, let's sacrifice your own room right now, so that way you guys can have a play area. You can have your desk in there, because she has a desk in the playroom that we have now. That way I told her, you know, we can have a little more storage, they can have more space to play. Yeah, we're just gonna keep it the same way until they're ready to have their own rooms and stuff. Then we can figure it out then. So for the office, we do want to get actual desks. We've had the same desk since literally we had our first daughter almost 9 years ago. So it's like an old, you know, IKEA desk, and nothing's really wrong with it. We just want something different. So that's where that's like a more of a want, you know, not really a need. I'm thinking we're going to use this desk in the playroom. Like I said, it's still a good piece of furniture, so we're going to give it to the kids. So we're going to need a desk and a bookshelf, or 2 desks essentially, and a bookshelf for the office. So those are just the things off the top of my head that we are going to be looking for within these next few weeks, and looking for a good price on them, and but also good quality. We've always been, you know, a budget friendly kind of family. We don't really like splurge on a lot of furniture or, you know, big items. I think the most expensive thing we've ever bought is our couch, but just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's good quality. So we want to meet somewhere in the middle where we're not being super cheap and we're not, you know, splurging too much. Also, the bookshelf, I think I skimmed over this, but the bookshelf in the office is also something I bought when we first moved in here. I bought it on Amazon. It's always like a hit or miss, because sometimes you don't know if it's like cheap or how the quality is going to be, but it was on the cheaper side, so I wasn't expecting anything too great. I just needed storage. So yeah, that's also not going to survive the move, so that's why we want to get a bookshelf for the office. So again, just to reiterate, just make a list of anything you're going to want, anything you're going to need, and then after you make the list, then you can start to kind of prioritize, like, okay, let's look for this, let's look for this, and seeing what you're going to need first and what you can kind of wait on. Kind of just getting all of that out of my brain and onto paper helps me so much. And we have time still, like I said, we have about a month, and you know, we have time to browse around, find a good deal, find something that we like and in the style that we like. We're not in a rush. And also, I don't want to wait until we move, because so I want to kind of save my energy for that, and then right now I can browse, we can shop around, look around for the items on our priorities list, on our wants and needs list, because not all of them are priorities, to be honest. And that doesn't mean that we're going to buy everything on that list. It's just a way to kind of organize my thoughts and then pick out what we do need to get, or what we can get, you know, before we start packing and moving and all that. So another thing that we're going to do, I don't know if it's too early to start calling for the utilities and stuff and our Wi-Fi, but oh my god, I remember when we moved here to this rental almost 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, we had to wait like 10 days to get Wi-Fi. So that was a little painful, to be honest. I'm not gonna lie. Like literally, we didn't have cable, we didn't have any like TV, nothing. Yeah, with 3 kids at home all day, yeah, it was a little bit hard. So now we kind of learned from that experience. We want to call ahead and see, you know, what they require of us, how soon we can, you know, start that process and stuff. That way, again, once we move, that's all we got to worry about, moving, and then just kind of following up and all of that stuff, you know. Okay, and the next thing that I already do, to be honest, like I said in the beginning, if you guys watch my channel, you guys know that I'm always like decluttering, organizing things, and finding just better, more efficient ways to help myself keep things cleaned up and my family. I'm starting to realize that it was my undiagnosed ADHD trying to make my life easier. So yeah, I've been decluttering, to be honest. A month ago, we had a break from school, our first like 2-week summer break, because I do 2 separate 2 weeks off in the summer instead of like 1 whole month. So I decluttered our closet. I have a closet where I have a huge box in there, and anytime we go through anything, toys, clothes, pretty much anything, we don't want something, we'll just put it in that donations box, and then when it gets full, we'll take it to donations. So it had been full for months. It was overflowing, And yeah, it was time to take all that stuff out. It was like not even in the box anymore. It was like spilling out of the closet. We had already done that even before we found the house. So if you are not that big into kind of organizing and decluttering your stuff, I highly recommend doing that, prioritizing that. Again, making a list of anything and everything you want to go through. Shoes, the junk drawer, donations, games, toys. I had decluttered the kids' toys. I had decluttered the donations closet. I had decluttered our closet that had games, crafts. If you follow me on TikTok, you guys probably saw all of this already. So the last few things that I have left to declutter is my junk drawer, our shoes. We also cleaned out the garage. Ramses did that. So make a list, start chipping away at what you can handle little by little. I'm definitely the kind of person that like I take everything out, I Marie Kondo it, and then just sit down, sift through it, and then put it all back in a more organized way. 3 months ago, I did our closet. I decluttered the closet again, took everything out, went through everything. So I'm all right. I'm not too stressed about decluttering. Like I said, I just have maybe a few more things. Yeah, it's gonna be less stuff for you to go through to pack and physically move out of your house, you know? Okay, I did my eyebrows off camera because there was no way I was gonna be able to be in the frame for that. So for the last way that I'm preparing 1 month in advance for our move is to figure out how it's gonna happen. How are you gonna move? Are you gonna hire movers? Are you going to recruit family, friends? You need to schedule time off. So these are all things that we're starting to address now. Last time we moved from an apartment that was about 40 minutes away from this house, and we definitely hired movers. We were on the 4th floor or the 3rd floor, so I don't even remember, in our apartment building. So yeah, it was a bitch trying to get everything out. You had to go through the elevator and all of that. So we definitely paid for movers last time. This time we're about a 10-minute drive to our new house. So yeah, I don't think we're going to get movers this time. It's looking like no. We have a lot of family nearby. It was a different situation. So yeah, lots of moving content coming. There was a lot of homeschool content happening at one point. Now there's gonna be lots of moving content happening. Oh, and let me throw in a 5th one. Stock up on anything you might need. Start getting some boxes. Start looking on Facebook Marketplace to see if anybody has any free boxes they're getting rid of. That way you're not scrambling last minute. We moved 3 times 2 years ago, so we ended up buying a bunch of bins from like Walmart and Home Depot and stuff. So we use that for storage in the garage, and then we also have just empty bins that we've kept because we knew we were going to move. Obviously, we're in a rental, so we're going to be using those first. And then coincidentally, my brother just bought a house, and he's moving in the beginning of July, and we're moving at the end of July. And he's like me, like he unpacks real quick. He doesn't mess around. So he was telling me, hey, I'm gonna be done unpacking by the time you guys are, you know, starting to pack. So I'll start taking some stuff to the house, you know, some boxes and things. You know, I was like, cool. So everything is working out really nicely. So hopefully you guys stick around, come back, or go back and watch my other videos. I have a variety of content on here. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.